So Sony has gone ahead and announced today that they're going to go away with creating physical discs for all their games moving forward in like starting 2028, something like that. And I'm completely not surprised, just based on their behavior as a company in the most recent of years. And it's got me thinking about my history with gaming, and I just wanted to come on here, change a pace, and share with you my journey with video games, basically. And that it all starts when I was 1 year old. I was hanging out with my mom and my oldest brother, and they were playing Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. And I said I want to try, and I did really well, surprisingly. And I just fell in love with that medium right then and there. I remember playing Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. Um, I'm thinking of some RPG that had crystals in the name. It wasn't Final Fantasy. Um, but it kind of was top down like that. I only played it one time. I remember The Adventures of Lolo, thinking that it was actually Kirby, just because it had a round character on the box. But I never had any loyalty to any gaming company whatsoever. We started off with an NES, and then I got a Sega Genesis in 1995 for Christmas. And then a few years later, 2 years later to be exact, I got a PlayStation for Christmas 1997. And with that, I got two video games, WCW versus the World. I got three video games, actually. So WCW versus the World, Final Fantasy VII, and Frogger. Memory card, all that stuff. So we got a PlayStation in 1997. From there, I became a Sony fanboy. I was PS1 all the way. Most super excited about the PS2 in 2000. And then PS3 I got in, I think it was 2008. I actually got it after with one of my first checks from my job at the time. And then in between there, I did take the leap and started playing on PC and realized you get a lot of freedom with PC. But gaming PCs were really expensive, and really that generation of consoles with the 360 and PS3, it was like matching the quality of PC gaming while being a fraction of the cost at the time. So it was like, it just made more sense to play games that way. But then as time went on, I had been without a PC for a long time, and in 2012, I built my first actual gaming PC. It was nothing too particularly special, but built the PC, got back in there, and I saw the freedoms of it. Now that's not the first gaming PC I ever owned; it's just the first one that I built. I had an Alienware gaming laptop when I graduated high school, and that thing was really bad, terrible. Glad we had a 3-year warranty on it, because it seemed like every couple of months I had to send it into the shop because it would just keep dying over and over and over in various ways. And they would do the same fix every time. They just replace the graphics card with the same model and then ship it right back. And it was very interesting to see that. I remember one time I got the Alienware laptop back from the shop, and it booted into a blue screen. So I had to manually go into the BIOS and change a setting so it would boot up. And it was just absolutely hilarious that was the type of quality I was getting from Alienware in the mid 2000s. But flash forward to 2012, and I'm realizing that you don't need a physical disk drive for your games anymore. Most everything is just done digitally through Steam. So I'm downloading every game from my Steam library back into my account. And then from that moment on, I just started buying every game ever that I wanted through Steam. And that's really when the movement began, that everything ran through Steam. And it's just been such a good company to support over the last, gosh, it's 2026 now, 14 years. built another PC since then in 2016, and then I decided to forego building this next time, and I got a new PC in 2023. I'm really glad I did that too. Now that I look back on it, because that PC is running a 4080 on it, and like those cards are almost inaccessible now, um, thanks to the AI and all the RAM shortage and everything like this. And Sony, who I used to stan and fanboy, I have literally just backed away from. There was a period in time where I owned a PS3, a 360, and a PC, and I hardly touched the 360. And the only time I touched the PS3 was to play one specific game with one friend who only had the PS3. Then he upgraded to PS4, and I actually owned 3 PS4s. I bought the first round of PS4s, realized there were no games on it, and I sold it. Then I bought a Darth Vader edition PS4, and then played it for like 2 months. And most of what I do was on the PC gaming side. Most of my friends are PC gamers, so I play pretty much every game with them, and I prefer that platform, the versatility of it. And so I sold my PS4 again, knowing, well, number one, I needed a little bit of money at the time, and number two, I knew that I was only going to play it with one specific friend in one specific game, so I got rid of that. And then he really wanted me to get a PS4 again to play the first Destiny with him, and I was like, I'm not spending any amount of money for a game I really don't want to play. So he gifted me his old PS4 when he upgraded to the Pro, and bought me Destiny. So since like 2017, that was the last PlayStation I got. It was the Destiny version PS4 that he had, and he had upgraded to the Pro, and then we played Destiny together for a little bit before Destiny 2 came out, and it was fine. Nothing that blew me away though, and it was fun for like a month, but then, you know, scheduling conflicts rather, life happens, and you just naturally move on to the next thing. And I have seen this shift as my time has gone on, where you used to go to the store and you used to buy the physical copy and just pop it in your system, turn it on, and it just worked from day one. It just worked. And as time has slowly gone on, you just saw, like, I remember back in the day, PS3, Red Dead Redemption had Undead Nightmare. I think that was the very first time I had ever downloaded DLC in my life, and it was like $10 for an entire mode, the story mode. It was like a sizable chunk of content that you got for $10. And in GTA 4, I never really owned it, but you had the story expansions with those, and they were like $5 a piece. You would never see that these days. Now you have $60 for a horse and whatever game. I think that was Diablo 4. Was that Diablo 4? Diablo 3? I can't remember what it was. But, you know, you just have people that jump the shark with DLCs. And now, as games have died, complete deaths, and people have paid money to buy, it's just really interesting to see this shift and to see so many people. I don't know if this is the dead internet theory really coming to life, or if people really are so mentally fucked that they're just like, oh, I like this, and if someone does not like this, then they're insulting me, and I need to defend this with my life. But the button says buy, and that is ownership. But oh, you own the license. You don't own the right to play the game. You don't own the game. You just own the license. And if they delete the product, then then they delete it. Like, quit defending it. Why are you defending a company that's just gonna suck your money, and then be like, oops, you're screwed. You're just basically pissing your money away. And I don't care how much of a fan you are of something. If you buy it, then you should own it forever. And if that's not the case, then you're renting. And they should then change the name on the PS4 or the PlayStation Store or Xbox, whatever they have. I haven't been on Xbox since 360, so I wouldn't know. But they should change it to rent. And I'm imagining this happening. The only two real digital storefronts I trust are Steam. Number one, they give refunds, and Gabe Newell has gone on record saying that they're that they have plans for if everything went south and Steam just Valve no longer operated as a company starting tomorrow. There are plans to delete the DRM so you could just download all of your games and own them. And I also trust GOG, because everything is DRM free. You buy the game, you own it. So, and of course, everything has the asterisk, so long as they own it. Like, I know Microsoft has been trying to buy Valve for a number of years now, and if that happened, I would actually stop gaming completely. I have a number of activities I do outside of that. And I can already foresee things just going in a way that is so anti-consumer, and everyone just accepting it because it's the easiest thing to do. And they're testing the waters right now with the biggest titles. You're going to see GTA 6, GTA 6 come out. It's the same game you've already played from Rockstar with just a new little refresh. And it's going to, not have any physical discs come out, and everyone's just going to flock to it and buy it. Whereas literally all you have to do to control a company is to vote with your wallet. Just hold your money for 3 months, and if everyone did that, the company would literally just reverse what they want to do, because they have something called quarters, and a quarter is a financial report, and that is a 3-month block of a year. And companies really love to show their shareholders their growth, which is why they make moves specifically designated times of the year. And so if you just hold your money for 3 months, that quarter is going to look very terrible. And they're going to need to change their tune to get the results that they want, which is your money. And then they will just absolutely reverse. So yeah, if you just didn't accept it, if you don't like something, don't pay for it, and the company's going to change the tune. That if enough people do that, which is just common sense. But a lot of people go on and get really offended that someone has a different opinion than them and is talking common sense, and they're so down the fandom rabbit hole and they take it so personally because their entire identity is that thing. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that I will never understand, and I don't want to understand it. But I just want whoever is, if you ever do get to this point in the video, because I have a tendency to ramble, but if you do get to that point in your life and you're that displeased, you can change your life today in this very moment, just by simply changing your mind. That's it. Just saying, I don't want to do this, and then doing something different. Because while the scariest thing to humans is the unknown, embracing the fact of the unknown will literally net you, like, I just can't describe it. It's insane. And when I switched from just accepting my known reality to changing and embracing the unknown, life suddenly changed for me in so many ways that I can't even describe. And there is hope. You can literally achieve anything in your life, so long as you are willing to accept certain unknowns. Basically, just don't listen to fear is the main thing. Don't listen to fear. Go into every situation with a sense of neutrality, and you will come out the other side. And that applies to gaming, that applies to companies, that applies to any literal aspect of your life. So yeah, kind of off on a tangent there, but I don't know, that announcement from Sony really made me want to reflect on my history with gaming, and as I reflected on that, I just felt compelled to turn the camera on and make a video about it. I am going to make another video here soon, detailing my history with Resident Evil. That might be a multi-part series where I just go off the dome talking about it. So if that's something you're interested in, Look forward to that. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And guys, until the next time, my name is Ken, and I'll see you then.